Welcome back to the Full Blitz Podcast. I'm your host, Big Easy. With me, as always, is my guy, the guru himself. What is going on, big dog?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
Yeah. How's your weekend going?
It's been chill. I've been safe inside, away from all the nationwide protests.
The craziness. Well, before we get jumping, we, of course, have to do a big shout out to all of our fathers out there. Today is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. I hope everybody is enjoying their steak and beer and a day without doing the honey to-do list.
Yes, happy Father's Day to all my fathers. I am not a father, but happy Father's Day.
I am not a father either. And let me just say this, single moms, it ain't your day. Okay,
what you mean?
It's not your day. No, that is Mother's Day. You had your day. It's not your day. Okay.
Ooh, boy, we're gonna get some comments about that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna piss some people off. That's gonna piss some people off. But hey, y'all, if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all are checking out the show on YouTube, clicking that subscribe button, click that notification button, follow us here on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. But real quick, I've got to say this. If you follow us or if you watch the content and you want to get on and comment, please do. But trust and believe, I match energy. Do not come at us with no kind of nonsense. And this is coming from somebody on TikTok decided to be like, it's always some straight, overweight, unathletic people. Yada, yada, yada. Just so everybody knows, I am a highly competitive, highly athletic individual. I played Louisiana football all through high school, had scholarships to go to college. Louis knows we are wildly athletic. Please don't come on here talking that nonsense with your keyboard warrior, bullshit, because I got the energy and I got the time. Trust and believe.
Yeah, we respond to all the comments as long as we can. Right now, we don't got a lot of.
Right
we
now.
don't got too many, so we respond. We'll see.
The tens of you that comment, trust and believe.
Yeah.
Don't come with no nonsense, because I will shut it down real quick.
And if you say some wild stuff, we gonna bring it up.
I'm gonna bring it up.
It's gonna come up on the show, so don't get crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And if I could remember, I'd call the dude out, but I don't want to give him no energy. And don't come on TikTok and making all kinds of comments and craziness when you got one video. Don't do that. And I get that the TikTok is a vast, part of the internet and social media, but I don't care how old you are. If you come at me, I'm coming for you. I don't care. We try to stay away from the negativity, but if the shoe fits, I'm gonna make you wear it. But with all that being said, we've got a good show for y'all on this Father's Day, where of course we're gonna take a look at the Titans as minicamp comes to an end, as we get into this 5-week break in between now and the start of training camp. We also have a growing popular segment, which is What's on Your Mind. And we are going to take a look at what the Cincinnati Bengals are doing and a crazy story coming from a former NFL wide receiver. Mandatory minicamp has come to an end, and we now have a good kind of look at the team. We obviously have no idea what the 53-man roster is going to look like, but one of the things that is abundantly clear is Cam Ward is him. We've talked about Cam Ward in abundance, and we're going to continue to talk about him because national media doesn't want to for some reason. They talk about everybody else, but not the number one overall pick or the Titans in general. And one of the things that I absolutely love coming out of minicamp with Cam Ward is from the head coaches or from the coaches and from the players is that Cam Ward has this almost natural ability that he has taken control, not just in the huddle, but off the field as well. And the veterans really like that. He's a young guy, but he's not afraid to get in there, put the plays out. And there was even a story from Brian Callahan, the head coach, that Cam Ward was chirping back and forth with one of the DBs, all while Brian Callahan was giving him a play, and he retained all of it. I mean, that just is astonishing. And Brian Callahan was extremely impressed with it, as I think everybody should. And we saw some of the chirping back and forth between Ward and Jeffrey Simmons, our big D tackle. And I love that. And I think we're starting to see that Cam Ward really is that guy. We've talked about it back and forth, and we're going to continue to talk about it. But this kid looks like he is going to be the long-awaited franchise quarterback that the Tennessee Titans have been looking for. His throws are phenomenal. If you go and you watch the tape from the minicamp, even when he threw an interception, which he didn't do many, okay, he did not throw many interceptions, but the way he composed himself, got back in the huddle, and did the play, came back and hit it even bigger. I think it was day one of minicamp. He started the day off with an interception, and he wound up going like 20 of 21 with 7-on-7s, and then I think he went like 17 of 18 and 11-on-11. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you're looking for. You know, as we continue to get through, once we get into training camp, I think training camp starts like July 3rd, I think. That might be not the right day, but I know it starts the middle of July. So once we get into training camp, the pads come on, that's when we'll really start to kind of see what Cam Ward is looking like. So as we move away from the quarterback position, we really started to see, in my opinion, some of these young wide receivers really start to separate and kind of show who's going to be there and who really is going to be looking. I think the Titans are going to wind up keeping 6-7 receivers on the 53-man. We went over the wide receivers a couple weeks ago. You guys can check that out. I think it was like episode 20 or 21, but I listed the wide receivers that I think are going to wind up making the team, and you guys can check that out. But I love the way this wide receiver room is starting to shape up. We're really going to see, again, when the pads come on, that's when you really start to kind of figure out who's the real deal and who's not. I think it's without to be said that Weapon X, Xavier Restrepo, is more than likely going to make this team. I think he's going to find his way into like a slot type position. And then, you have Ike is probably going to make the team. Dika is probably going to make the team. Van Jefferson, more than likely going to make the team. We know Calvin Ridley and Tyler Lockett are making the team. So I think our pass catchers are going to be a very underrated group, not just from the wide receiver room, but in the tight end room as well. Helms is a very good pass catching tight end. Chig is really good. Wiley is really good. I think our tight end room is going to be significantly better this year, and our skill players in general are going to be much, much better this year. So we have all of that to look forward to. We have 5 weeks now where the players get to leave. They get to kind of go on their last bit of vacation before everything for the last part of offseason, and then heading into preseason starts to ramp up again. Comment below, guys. Let me know who y'all think is a dark horse to make the Titans roster. Let me know who y'all favorite teams are, what you think about your teams coming out of mandatory minicamp. Let me know where you guys stand as fans with your team. So I'm really interested to know who's listening, what teams we got following the Full Blitz podcast. But that's where I feel like the Titans are. And, of course, the defense is, the defense won the day on day 3 of mandatory minicamp. I'm really excited about how the defense looks. But, of course, pass rushers. We talked about it when we had our guy Jonathan on with the All Things Titans TikTok page. Pass rushers are going to determine how good this team or this defense really is. I think Femi's going to come in and do a really good job. Obviously, the interior of our line is going to be really good, but I really like what I'm seeing from Arden Key. Arden Key has been saying all the right things in the press. He looks phenomenal. It looks like he's actually a little lighter than he was last year, which is going to help with his speed and his power. But we're going to see what happens once the pads come on, and that's when things are going to get real big, and that's when the roster is going to start to form and make its shape, and we're going to see what we got. So coming up after this, we have What's on Your Mind. This is something that just hit me yesterday because it's something I tried to do in my personal life. Curious to see what you guys think. What's on Your Mind is coming up after this.
What's on your mind, brother? What
So,
you got?
I went to my birthday was Friday, right?
Uh-huh.
And Friday the 13th.
Birthday
and you know
boy?
me,
Hold
I'm a
on,
big-
hold on. Everybody wish your boy a happy birthday real quick. We need to wish a happy birthday to hold on, wait. Here we go. Happy
I
birthday,
like it.
brother.
I like
All right,
appreciate
so
it.
what happened?
So went to the tattoo shop, and we were gonna look to do the Friday the 13th tattoos because most tattoo shops run like specials, and I didn't really like any of the ones that were a part of the special. So I was like, well, what would it be to just get
Yeah, they
a
did, like,
tattoo?
the
And they were like, oh,
pre-made
it's
ones.
$300 an hour, and I'm like, I'm sorry. They were like, yeah, it's $300 an hour, and I said, where's your portfolio?
It's a ticket.
I was looking through it. I was like, nope, not doing it. Like 300 an hour? You're crazy. You are tripping.
Yo.
When did we get to this world like that is just okay?
Yeah, man. It's expensive. Everything is, man. That's why I haven't gotten tatted. Honestly, the last tattoo I got was a Friday the 13th little joint. It was like a $40 deal.
No, yeah, you're right. Everything is just crazy expensive, but I don't mind paying $150, $200 an hour for somebody whose artwork is good. But it just seems like they just like, hey, we're going to charge this much because we want to. It's crazy.
Man, that's how I feel about haircuts. A men's haircut today is so expensive for no reason, son. I used to pay $10 for a haircut when I was a kid, and then $15. Then I remember when it went up out, as an adult, I paid $20, you know what I'm saying? Throw an extra $5 on it. And then it was $25, and then I was paying, all right, cool. So throw an extra $5, I was paying $30 for a haircut. Bro, and now they want $35 for the cut. And then a lot of shops out here, you can't even walk in. There's no walk-in barbershops. They don't exist.
It's all by appointment.
Everything is like, bro, you need an appointment. You got an appointment? I'm like, well, how? And then they charging $50 for a fade.
Bro, so there was a barbershop that I went to out here, right? And all of this goes together, like barbershops, tattoos.
It's the same thing.
It's getting crazy. This barbershop here won't take walk-ins, like you were saying. The cuts started at $50.
That's crazy.
Okay, and that's just the cut. If you got a beard like me, they added another $20 to trim the beard. And then, so we had $70 before you even tip. And then if say something comes up, right? Like the world happens, something comes up, and you have to cancel your appointment, they charge you the total amount of your haircut.
Or a cancellation fee or something. Yeah,
Bruh.
man. I stopped. You know why I stopped going to the barbershops? Because last time I went, dude didn't even cut me right. I paid like $35 for a cut, and it wasn't even straight. I was so mad. I was like, bro, I might as well. I went, you know what I did? I bought a $30 pair of clippers. I cut my own hair.
Bro, I go to Great Clips.
Now. Yeah,
I go to Great Clips now.
I tried to go to like the Asian barbershops around here in Southern California. They got little Asian shops, and it'd be like $15 a cut though. But boy, they gonna chop you up.
And I'm telling you, but that's what's on our mind. The hair cutting world and the tattoo industry are getting out of hand. A couple other things that we're going to look at for this week. You guys have seen it if you follow football. A team this offseason that is absolutely fumbling the bag completely is the Cincinnati Bengals. We've talked about the Bengals a few times, and it doesn't seem like they have any idea what they're doing. The front office is making what appears to be decisions like they're Ray Charles in the dark. I don't get any of it. They let go of their defensive captain, linebacker, Pratt, who actually winds up and goes and signs a one-year deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. They still have not signed the league sack leader from last year, Trey Hendrickson, who has had the same amount of sacks the year prior. and who has not been in minicamp and has been very outspoken about the fact that he is not going to play under the current contract that he has. Currently, he is set to make around $15 million this year. Guys that are putting up the same kind of numbers he is like Myles Garrett, players like that, are averaging anywhere between $35 to $40 million a year. I get a lot of us think, oh, well, $15 million's a lot, but within the compass of his profession, it's really not. He is one of the best pass rushers in the league, and he is not being paid like it. And then the front office is trying to add in this crazy default clause in their first round pick, Shamar Stewart's contract, which they have never done before. The Cincinnati Bengals have never tried to put this clause into one of their rookies' contracts before, but now they want to try to put it in, and Stewart saying, I'm not signing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be the guinea pig. You guys can try that with somebody else. And because of that, he has yet to practice. So when you look at it, they have lost their leading tackler in Pratt from last year, who was also, I think, the eighth, tackler in the NFL as far as total tackles. You do not have your sack leader and your leader on the defensive line in the building, and you have not gotten your first round pick signed because of this clause that you were trying to put into their contract. Front office, what are y'all doing? Cincinnati, what are you doing? You have a championship caliber offense. You need the defense. You cannot win with offense alone. And it's like you guys are thinking that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins can do it all on their own. They can't. You need the defense to go along with it. Cincinnati, get your shit together. It doesn't make any sense what y'all are doing. So this next story, you guys know we do our best to try to stay away from the negativity on this show, right? We're not real big on, talking about things that are negative in nature and things like that. But a story that I have got to talk about is Antonio Brown has now found himself in hot water again as a warrant has been issued for his arrest for attempted murder. Okay? So the story is that Antonio Brown faces charges of attempted murder with a firearm, according to a warrant reviewed by several media outlets. The charge is based on a shooting Brown was allegedly involved in during a celebrity boxing event in Miami last month. Brown was detained by police after gunshots were fired at a boxing event which was hosted by online streamer Aiden Ross. Brown was seen fighting with several people on a video posted to social media, and gunshots could clearly be heard after the altercation. Okay, police spoke with Brown, and he was released a few hours after they spoke to him. Now, with that being said, he, for whatever reason, is now being charged with attempted murder. We do not have all of the details yet. Now, with that being said, like we talked to you guys earlier about coming online and trying to run y'all mouth behind that keyboard, we had somebody come at me for that. And Louis, I don't know if you saw this, but somebody came at me with our Ain't No Way from last week about the Chat GPT and saying that's not Chat GPT. It was da-da-da-da-da. Somebody basically telling me I was putting out misinformation. Everything that we put out on this show, you guys can go to either ESPN, Reddit, Google, and find the outlet in which we got the story. Okay? So right now, from a warrant that numerous media outlet people have seen, Antonio Brown is being charged with attempted murder. Y'all can go check out the rest of the article. It is on ESPN. Okay? Y'all can check that out and read it. So guys, we're gonna finish it up here. We didn't want to do a real long show to with Father's Day. We got family, we got reaching out and having a good day. So we're gonna go ahead and celebrate fathers on Father's Day by getting up out of here. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody had a great Father's Day. And we will catch y'all next week. Again, make sure to head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. Follow us on TikTok and on Instagram. And until next week, peace and love, y'all.
Peace. Holla, holla.
Nothing's
Come on, play.